Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Casually Kicking It. Yes, we were off a week, but we are back for you guys. And just to let you guys know, if you're new to listening to the show, we are an unorthodox podcast, as you will see soon. And if you don't mind, please follow us on all social media platforms. That's Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And make sure to give us a good review on whatever platform you're listening to us on. If that's YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Make sure you give us a good review. We appreciate that. And don't forget to hit up our store at Store Frontier. Type in the search engine, Casually Kicking It, and you can get yourself some merchandise.
Merch. Let's do it.
So, with all that off to the side, how are you guys doing? How was your week?
Great.
I missed recording.
Did you? Are you sure about that?
I was very heartbroken. See a tear coming down. It's right here.
Well, man, I wanted to bring something up because I forgot to tell you guys about this funny thing that happened to me. I was a car story. It's a car story.
I love cars.
So we were staying at a hotel not too long ago, and I decided to leave the premises to go get lunch. So I went to a McDonald's that was across the street.
Mm-hmm.
Not really across the street. It was kind of down the road. So, I took my car, and it's hot outside, as you all know. It's Florida, as everybody knows. I said y'all. Ugh.
Yes, you did. Come out that southern
So anyways, I was driving down the road, and, I have the AC blasted on full blast. So on my car, the AC goes by numbers, 1 to 4. 4 is the max. Crank that sucker on 4, and I'm like, dang, it's hot, man, and it's not cooling down. But I'm like, as soon as the car gets going a little bit, because it was sitting under the sun. The car was sitting under the sun. So I was like, once I get going.
Did you let all the windows down?
Yeah. I let all the windows down. I got to McDonald's. I put in my order. And one of the items was a sundae.
Oh, no.
So I'm driving back, and it's not kicking, man. I'm like, dude, my AC's messed up. I'm gonna have to take. Now I'm thinking, during our vacation, little staycation, I'm thinking, man, I'm gonna have to take it to the shop. I got to figure out a day that I can take the car in.
You probably had the heater on.
And I'm sitting there, and it's blowing, dude. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, it's hotter in here than it is outside. So anyways, go back to the hotel room. We eat lunch. Upon the day of checkout, we load all our stuff in the car. I decided to let's leave as early as possible because, in the morning it's a little cooler than it is later on, so that we can get home. And as I get in the car, I noticed that the little knob that goes from cold to heat
was on hot.
No, it was sitting on in between. So it was blowing warm air. So that's why it was never blowing colder. And I'm like, son of a gun. I'm sitting here, ice cream's melting. I'm dying of sweat in the car when I should be, and it's colder outside. It was,
That's what happens.
The brain fart moment, man. That's what I call it.
It wasn't broken. So that's
good.
But I
know.
Curious.
I could see that you were on I thought you were on heat the whole time, but in the middle, in between, that's awesome.
No, it's not awesome.
It's called getting old. Awesome. It's called getting old.
No.
Dude. You forget stuff.
I think I had it like that because the day we arrived, it was raining. So you know how it's overcast and
foggy.
Yeah, and so I had it in the middle, but I never put it back to cold. Boy, that morning I put it to cold, and I was like, oh, the AC's working fine. I don't have to worry about taking it to the shop. But let me tell you, that little drive to McDonald's, man, I was like
You were red as hell, probably. You looked like you got sunburnt.
Man,
It's
let me
good
tell
to
you.
sweat and get all those toxins out.
That's true. So I go to steam rooms and eucalyptus rooms. They're awesome.
Sweat it all out.
Yeah, baby. Unless you
So
sit next to one of those big guys that are like doing one of those breathing. That would suck. I could not go into a gym and into it. Okay, what about you guys? Or do you guys feel comfortable going into spas or like a steam room or something?
Yeah,
like now or before the pandemic?
Uh, Before the pandemic.
Yeah,
Can't do it
because
now.
during the pandemic, I don't want people sweating all over the place and sitting
Yeah,
on
no,
sweat in a sauna.
no,
Sorry.
I don't even know how they could do that. So
Um,
before a pandemic,
I personally didn't need it, so no.
what do you mean you didn't need it?
I don't know.
You,
I just
you
never.
never got into the whole like hot tubs and spa like steam
I've
rooms or
been in a
anything?
sauna, but it's
Yeah.
not. I don't see.
yeah. Saunas and steam rooms are really good for you.
I always saw my garage during the summer while I was working out. That was like a sauna, so I used that as my
Yeah.
personal sauna.
Sweat it
But
out.
do you go in with bathing suit or without bathing suit?
With a bathing suit.
Working out in the
I go with
garage, I'm in shorts.
I go in with just a towel. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's good too.
it's called a
Free
wash rag.
calling.
A wash rag.
So, what else have you guys been up to?
I don't know.
You don't know what you've been into or up to?
Dude, you know, because of this whole pandemic crap,
No burning kitchen?
no, not this time.
How are your bike rides?
They're better because I got a bigger seat. I got one of those.
That's a game changer right there.
Yes, it is. I go further now.
Yep.
Yep.
I bet you do.
Yeah,
Hey.
baby.
And then once you get broken in, like when you first start riding a bike and you haven't ridden in a couple of years or a while, you have to break in that area of like your butt, your legs, all that, because it's sore in the beginning.
You
and
got
then
that
once
right.
you kind of build that back up, you're good to go.
But I'm doing that Starva thing the whole time.
Strava.
Or whatever,
Strava.
Strava, whatever.
So you're using it?
Yeah, I post on
I'm
my Facebook.
starving right now.
It's
I'm
good,
so hungry.
right? You get to see like where you go. How I love it.
Yeah, I just didn't pay for the membership
I
thing
didn't
to
either.
get all the other stuff.
Yeah, I get to see it when he posts it on Facebook.
Yeah, I post on
Where he's
Facebook
been.
all the time. I go about 8 miles. Last time I went Oh, see, did I tell you about I took my bike route, but instead of doing bicycling, I was walking because for some reason I don't know, motivated. I thought I could do it
Okay.
because I've been biking it the whole time. That 8 miles turned to 15, bro. I was gone for half the day. I was burning, bro. I was like,
I'm gonna follow you on the app because I don't have Facebook, so I'm gonna follow you on the app.
Yes, do it.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if I talked to you guys about this in the last episode. I've been watching horror shows.
Oh yeah.
Mystery shows, horror movies because we're in the month of October.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you guys seen anything horror-ish.
Oh yeah, I saw a bunch of them.
I caught a couple movies like Lights Out. Basically, you cut off the lights and this shadow figure appears and it'll kill you. But if you turn on the lights, it disappears. What else? I watched another Lovecraft Country, still the best show by far right now that I've seen.
I saw the rest of it, bro. That was crazy.
I don't know what that is.
It's on HBO Max.
It's on HBO Max. Netflix has it. Hulu has it. No, not Netflix. No. Hulu has it.
Talk about this on the last show. What's it about again?
I can't tell you because it's
about
everything.
I guess you could say they're people that follow like like fantasy stuff, like, and they started going off of I don't know, magic. It was magic came into play. So stuff like that, but it was in the 1950s is when it's happening. It's pretty cool. I think it's awesome.
No, 70s, because isn't he coming back from the Vietnam War?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 1974. That's correct. But it's crazy because they have like a cult type.
It's
Like
all
group.
kinds of stuff. It's really hard to describe the show.
It is. It's called
It's a good show.
Lovecraft Country, right?
Lovecraft Country, yeah. Something else that I started watching was on Netflix. It's called Ratchet. Oh man, great show. I really enjoy it. If you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. It's creepy. It's weird. Definitely a good one to watch.
I'm looking up Lovecraft Country.
Nah. Did Tom freeze on us?
Lovecraft. I got it. Back in the day ones. So it was like Attack of the Killer Clowns, things that like 1980 films. It was just looking at that stuff made me, yeah.
Okay. Attack of the Killer Clowns.
I watched the last series of something I watch is called Good Girls Revolt. It's on Amazon Prime, I think. It's based in the late 60s, 70s, and it's about journalists, girls that they can't be journalists because of that time. They're the researchers, and they want to be. It was actually a good show. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Was it a true story?
Based on so I think true things, but I'm not sure if it's an actual 100% story.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to think if I've watched anything else. No.
I tried watching that Bly Manor one.
Bly Manor, yes. Haunting of Bly Manor. Let me tell you, it's on Netflix. I think I was at Jackie's house over the last weekend, and I brought it up. And she's been busy. That's probably why she hasn't seen too much. I know you've been real busy lately.
Well, we had my mother-in-law last weekend. We have my father-in-law this weekend. So yeah, you know what that's like, Tom. A full house of family, 24/7.
Oh yeah.
And hosting
I'm gonna be what is it? Adopting 3 more kids tomorrow for a sleepover.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Which friends?
It's Dow and Jose.
But I mean, is it
school friends?
No, like, is it your son or your daughter's friends?
Son. It's both of them. It's
they all hang out.
Yeah, it's my good friends Dow and Jose Gonzalez. They pretty much, how it worked was we got pregnant out of the whole group. We got pregnant first, then Jose did, then Dow did. So it was like right after another. So they're kind of like not that far apart in age. So they like the same things and stuff like that. So right now, I don't know, I guess my cousin-in-law, Louis, he came over. Louis the Blonde came over.
Yeah, Louis.
And yes, and
I think I listened to that podcast. Anyways, keep going.
And then so he came and he actually made signature drinks for the adults. And it's supposed to be Sonic. This Sonic the Hedgehog themed party.
Oh.
And so he made like one of those fruity, like really sugary drinks, but it was cool because it looked like Sonic because it had like grenadine on the bottom, so that was red, and then it had like blue Kool-Aid on top, and it looked like Sonic and his sneakers, and then he put a ring of lemon on top. So that was like the rings that Sonic would get. It's pretty cool how he did
That's
it.
cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, and then we're gonna be doing some minute to win it events, stuff like that. It's gonna be crazy. But I got kids, so many kids coming over. I mean, they have a lot of personalities. Each one of them has a very special personality, and that's all that under one roof is a lot. Just got to tell you that.
Well, they probably play with each other though, right? So do they like stay out of your hair, or are they're probably back? What do they do? Like play video games? Like what?
Yeah, they're all on the Switch. You know, they have their own Switches. So, and then they get competitive, and you play the fighting like Mario Smash Brothers. What happened?
How old are they?
Gabe is just turning 10 this week, so I think 10, 9, and 8. That's around that time. Yeah. Fun. So it's fun because I mean I get to play with them too. So Daddy has an excuse to play video games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, without getting yelled at.
So yeah, horror stuff. Anything else?
I was watching a lot of the Exorcist series. Yeah. For some reason, I got into the whole, possession stuff. So I was watching The Conjuring, The Nun, The Conjuring 2, and then I jumped to Silence of the Lambs, and then after Silence of the Lambs, I watched Hannibal. Then I watched Red Dragon. Dude, I was on a roll, bro.
Jeez, you got me beat.
You stay up all night? Like, did you pull an all-nighter with those?
Oh, no. I don't have nothing to do during the day after my bike ride, so I go ahead and, while I'm chilling with my Gatorade and my protein shake, and I watch a show. And then sometimes, when you go to the wonderful room in the house, you got a lot of thinking going on, so I pop a movie on.
So I want to quickly give my thoughts and prayers, and I don't know if you guys want to do the same thing for Dak Prescott. You see a lot of injuries in the NFL, and I don't know if you guys caught the injury on Sunday, and I felt so bad because, and the reason why I bring it up, there's a lot of injuries in football and in the NFL, but the reason why I bring it up is because we spoke about Dak in a couple podcast episodes before about him struggling, his struggles, and now you add this injury that was very
season-ending injury.
Season-ending. It was catastrophic. It was really bad.
Like, when I heard about it, I just felt awful for him.
Tom froze again. He's probably talking. He doesn't even know that he's not talking, not listening. But
when I heard about it, I felt awful. This is not a good year for him. But beauty always comes from pain. Nobody heard you.
You froze, buddy.
Oh no! But when you get a injury like that, not life-ending. Oh my God, season-ending injury. And on all the depression and stuff like that he was talking about that he was experiencing or suffering from, it's bad, man. Like,
well, on top of that, this year he decided not to sign like a longer contract because he wanted more money.
Year.
So he just went with a year. So he has nothing guaranteed next year. So that I'm sure is also on his mind after that.
And you said he did it for money. See where greed will get you? Shaking my head, man. But maybe it's not greed, but hopefully, a lot of times if you find the beauty, it's there. It's hard, it's tragedy, but hopefully he can something beautiful will come from it because he's had a tough year.
And he was having a good season. The Cowboys weren't doing well as a team, but him as the quarterback statistically was doing good thus far. He had surgery that same night, and he's already out of the hospital. He put out a video yesterday letting all the fans know that he's okay and everyone know and thanking everyone for the thoughts and prayers and stuff like that. So, but I just know that he's going to have a long road to recovery and stuff. And I'm sure that he's going to have days where that mental instability takes place, so
Yeah.
I
I think
pray.
mental's harder than physical.
Yeah.
I pray for him too. That's rough.
So if you guys don't have anything else to add to that, I have one more thing that I wanted to talk about. And is Tom frozen again? I can't tell if he's just staying still or he's frozen. He's just like,
I think he's frozen.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on today. My phone is not doing so well.
That's hilarious. You keep freezing up.
And then I don't know if you're just sitting there waiting for me to stop talking, or you're just like,
No.
So I'm like, Tom, do you want to say anything? So yeah, real quick, we've been talking about theaters. So Regal Cinemas is temporarily closing, or not closing, but suspending here in the States and in the UK. They're suspending theaters, closing for temporarily. Cinemark and AMC are remaining open. I think I sent you guys a text, and I can't remember what I said. There was something about that theaters probably won't recover from this, in a sense, until 2022. Was it?
Yeah.
I told you guys, right?
Yep.
2022. Yes, it wasn't 21. It was 22. So yeah, experts are saying that theater chains probably won't recover from this till 2022. Now, do you think that the theaters can make it until 2022?
Well, if they've, there's so many things that go into play, and I feel like if they've used their profit, like if they've squeezed every last thing out of their budget and they don't have a cushion, no, they're not going to make it. But if they've put money back into the business and they have a cushion, maybe, but that's probably not likely. I mean, that's what we're talking, a year and a half? No, 2 years, or what? 2022. Mm-hmm. So then it's like, do you close the location and still pay rent? Like, there's so many things. Do you let all your employees go? So many factors. Maybe like I was saying, drive-ins will make a comeback or something.
I hope. I wouldn't mind. I do like the drive-in. During the whole stay-at-home shutdown during the summer, there were some theaters that would do drive-ins. I went to one where they had the side of the building. They have a parking lot on the side of their building, and they painted a white box, and then they just had a projector. And then you set your radio to a certain station that they had linked up. And then, if you have a newer vehicle, a car, a newer vehicle, like this day and age, you're not driving in like a 98 or something. I would say like 2000 and up. Most of the speakers are really good in the cars, and the sound quality is not that bad at all. Plus, you're in an enclosed vehicle, so you could feel like, the bass and stuff. I thought it was really neat. I really enjoyed my experience doing that little drive-in thing.
How was the picture being, that?
It's dark outside, so it was fine. It worked. You could see everything perfectly fine. It's tough because a lot of these big movies that were supposed to drop this year are all now pushed back to 2021. So the next big movie that's supposed to drop is in December, is the Wonder Woman movie, and I'm not sure I don't know if they're gonna drop it or not. There was another article I read yesterday. I'm gonna pull up my notes here. And it was he's one of Disney's top investors. His name is Dan Loeb. He has $1 billion in stake with the company. And he mentioned that because Disney earlier this week put out that they were going to focus more on their streaming service than movies. Mm-hmm. And this investor was basically saying, that theaters being shuttered by COVID-19 pandemic will survive, but He foresees them becoming more of a novelty experience, you know,
Okay.
and the world is going largely toward online distribution. Basically, he wants Disney to kind of take on what like Netflix is doing. Put out
Okay.
your original movies and your original content on the media, make money off of the subscriptions. You know, get more subscriptions. And he feels like that's the way that the you know, movies, future of movies and things are going. And Netflix, you know, they're doing really well with that, you know, putting out their own original
So
movies.
are they trying to like eliminate human contact? Like
No, it's
as
just
much as
he just is, for the time being, you know, I don't know if the theaters are going to be a thing of the past, because I've mentioned it on the podcast. People, you know, have TVs. I've seen your TV, some really nice TVs. People invest in their sound system at home, and sometimes you get better quality on your screen. Now, the theater, yeah, that's an experience. So that's why he said it's going to be a novelty experience, to where they're probably going to raise the prices. So it's going to be more of a,
Well, I mean, now if two people go to the movies and you get like, let's say you just get popcorn and a drink or like some sort of, you know, you don't go overboard, but two people to you have a date night, you get some stuff, it's easily $50.
probably more,
That is a not,
because
that's not cheap.
no,
Nope.
no.
And probably it's going to be a more, like I was saying, because some of these theaters have those big old sofas that recline and stuff, and
Yeah.
they charge a little extra. And
Well, like he said, it's a novelty thing. You know, it's going to be a thing that you're going to do,
so
not
it's good.
probably not as often as you were in the past.
So kind of like going to Disney.
And I know some people like going to the theaters, and I do, and I say I did now, because when we were doing that movie pass, Tom, I don't know if you remember, we were going to the
Yeah.
movies like 2-3 times a week, and
Yeah.
that whole movie theater experience kind of went out the window.
Played
You
out.
know, yeah,
Yeah.
it got very played out quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, we were seeing like 8 movies a month, you know, at the theaters or so. You know, so
But it was good because, like, at the time, you know, one movie would take us what, $13, and the thing was $9 a month. It was like
What was
it
that thing called again?
it was the
was a
movie pass.
movie pass.
I remember it started out great and then too many people got wind of it and it was never the same.
Well, they just didn't. They didn't have a good business plan.
There you go. Well,
Uh,
and speaking of novelty theaters, though, have you heard of the Enzian Theater?
yes.
So that place is really cool because it's, you know, kind of smaller and there's only a certain amount of people that can go and they play old movies, new movies, like
Right.
all kinds. And then they have this really pretty outside area. So that'd be cool if they made more theaters like that and then drive-in. I remember the last time a drive-in, I feel like I was maybe like 5 the last time I went to a drive-in, and there was one over off of like Hiawassee, Claricono, Coy.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
I just remember that so vividly. I want it to come back. I want to make everything have the capability of inside and outside. Like I would love to have like glass. Like I would love to where you like hit a button and the roof comes off or the sides come off and then you hit a button and it gets, I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you think, is a football field?
Yes.
But
God.
you know, I know you were talking about human interaction, but there's not much. I mean, I don't know about human interaction in a theater, because other than, you know, meeting up with your friends and saying, "Hey, what's up? All right, we'll go in here," and then for like the next 2 hours, I'm not talking to anybody.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Unless you're doing some other things.
I do understand that there are people that like going to the theaters, the movie experience. I did too, but I think I wore that out. So now, since I have a great sound system at my house and a TV, I'm able to watch the movie at my, you know, time.
Your own comfort. Yeah.
Correct. and I don't have to worry about it. And then
I'm
if they
wearing my
were
pajamas and slippers and kicking back with my
if they were to
AC
release
on.
if they were to continue doing what they're doing in releasing the movies on demand, and all you're charging me is $20, I'm willing to pay the $20 to rent the movie.
Yeah, maybe. And people just have to get used to that concept, because it's interesting how we think $20 is a lot, but it ends up still being cheaper than if you were to actually go to the movie, or it ends up kind of being the same price. But
Yeah.
maybe, the theater experience is going to change. It's something kind of going away.
It's like going to the opera. You know what I mean? It's gonna turn into stuff like
Like a
that.
theater, like
Yeah. I think that's how it's gonna
oh, I
be.
mean, when I say
And
theater, I don't
once,
mean a movie theater. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah. So
Production.
I think once like these companies start catching wind that they can make more money or even the same amount of money going into the box office than streaming, I'm sorry, vice versa. So streaming instead of going to the box office, I still think you're gonna get your ratings. I still think you're gonna get, you're gonna get paid. The only thing is you just, nobody's paying for concessions for that movie theater to be open because that's how they make their money. But
I don't even know if they're selling concessions at the moment at the theaters. I know
I
that when
don't
they
know.
first opened back up, they weren't selling anything. It was just you paid for your movie ticket, you went to the movie theater, and that was it. You watched the movie and you were out. I don't know if they change it, but look, that's just my opinion. People, Nate was always he likes the theater experience. He likes going to watch it. That's his steez, and I understand that. That's cool. I just think that production companies can do both. You can have a movie in the theaters, and you can have a movie streaming as well,
Yeah,
available for streaming.
I would do that. I would do both. Definitely.
So moving on from theaters, I was before we started the show. Man, I can't clear my throat.
Let me clear my throat.
There we go. That was my wormhole. I was on YouTube before we started recording, and I was listening to a lot of like the late 90s, early 2000 hip hops, and I'm just like, oh, this is a good song. Oh, started with Busta Rhymes, Past the Cavarcier, if you guys
Oh,
remember.
nice.
And then I went
Nice.
into like Angie Martinez. And I was like,
Woo.
oh, Angie Martinez. Everyone, she's a host on the radio show,
Yeah.
but she did have an album back in the day, which
Yeah,
was
she
like,
did.
I thought was awesome. So yeah, and I kept going. And I think that personally, there's good music out right now, but man, that late 90s, early 2000s, especially the early 2000s was just like good stuff, man. Really good stuff.
It's classic rap, bro. That's what's gonna turn to classic rap.
It's
Classic
good
rap.
memories. It's definitely good memories. For me, it's like the 70s. I love really old music, but no, I feel like the memories,
I can go later than that. I go 50s, 60s, girl. I love the 50s, 60s.
Motown, 50s, like.
Yeah.
And everything's basically samples from that. And now even today, it's funny. If you hear like what the kids like, I'm sure that what your kids like, the songs, you're like, I know that song, like taking samples from the 2000s.
Yeah.
Well, my son's like, oh, where's that song from the 80s? And I'm like, no, no way. But so I want to get back to music.
Shut up, dude. You just got burned by your son calling you old.
I did. Music, I think, is one of the most powerful tools.
Music's amazing.
Definitely.
Me listening to that one song, bam, memories just off the bat. I know where I was. I can gather multiple memories. Yep. You could be listening to a song at that one moment, and it just changes your attitude. Like music can change. your emotions, your thinking, it's crazy. I
Well,
think it's
definitely it affects your heart rate too, and the beats per minute, the BPM, different musics and BPMs. It, like they say, if it's a known fact, if you put reggae on, it'll kind of like calm you down because the BPM. And it is, you know, and smell can do that. Sometimes a smell, it'll take you right back to like a person, a place, a thing.
yes.
And so it is. It's music is so nostalgic. It is, man. I can't imagine life with no music.
Well,
Like
like
I always say, if you had to choose, if you had to pick one, would you be deaf or blind? I would be. I would be blind. I can't live without music. I don't need to see what you look like, anyways. Looks don't matter.
Whoa.
Well, I kind of know what that is like because my dad was blind. But yeah, I would definitely. I don't wish this upon anybody, but yes, I would like to have my hearing.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just music's so powerful, man. The way that it just triggers the mind, amazing. You could also be, you know, it's sad to say, but you could be down and depressed, and you hear that one song, and it just makes you even worse, and that stinks. Or a song can lift you back up from that sadness or whatever. And oh man, it's just
You have emotional attachment to those songs. Like even like I remember me and Ed were playing Usher all the time.
My
And
Way, the My Way album. Which
yeah,
one?
it was 80 something
8701. Is it? Was it
8701.
8701?
It was something like that, yeah. And it was awesome. Like we me and this cat would be singing the songs and everything. It was stupid, but we didn't care.
We were so stupid that there's a place, Jack, you know what I'm talking about, but for those listeners and viewers that don't know, there's a place here in Central Florida on Disney property called Disney Springs. Before it was called Disney Springs, it was called, half of it was called Pleasure Island, and the other half was
Yes.
called Downtown Disney, West Side.
Yes.
Downtown
Yes.
Disney. And I had just gotten a job. I just bought a brand new of the
Honda
year
Civic.
Honda Civic. I dropped it, lowered it, whatever you want to call it. I had it looking pretty nice. And
Clean,
Tom,
clean.
Put the SI wheels on it.
yes, I had the SI
Yes.
rims on it.
Yes.
Tom would always ride with me, and we would leave our work and go, hey, where do you want to go? Do you want to go down there? And we would take the car, and we'd drive my car out there to downtown Disney and just kind of like drive through with the music blasting to see if we would get people to look at us. We're such goofballs, man. Like, and we thought we were so cool, just like, yeah, and
I mean, at the time we were single, so we were looking for girls.
Like, you guys know that song, Just Like Candy? I think it's 8 Ball. Is it 8 Ball?
Yes.
JG?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Or like it
Yes.
says circle through the neighborhood 55 times. Like,
yes,
like,
that's what it was. We would go, we circle around like 8 or 9 times. Yeah,
that was what it was, bro. And then we used to play. Oh, there was this one song like, you ain't gotta tell me so much from the look in your eyes. I can tell you one about.
Who was that?
I don't know.
You probably had to like literally stop when you had to go over a speed bump because it was.
Oh yeah, Ed was taking the speed bump like at an angle.
Yeah, I remember though, we were young, so we couldn't get into the clubs or drink at that time yet. So yeah, we were under 21. And I don't know if you remember this, but we were leaving, right? Our little drive-through, around. We're heading back on the road, and there's this other SUV parked next to, or at the light next to us, and they were having a bachelorette party, right? So it was just full of women in there.
I remember.
And so we're blasting it out, and then he, I'm sitting there, getting my jig on, and he nudges me. He's like, "Yo, look." And I look, and then they're like, "Oh!" And we're like, "Yeah, go ahead, party it up. And they're like, oh, we're going to Pleasure Island. You want to come? And we're like, sure.
Yeah.
We're not fucking old enough, you know? So
like, yeah,
that was pretty
we'll
funny.
follow you there.
Yeah,
and
right.
We're going this way when they go that way.
Yeah, memories. But yeah, I mean, music was involved in that a lot. And that's another thing. You blast your music in your car that you like.
Yep.
Well, you said, like, I make playlists for everything. Like, I even have a playlist for when I'm sad and I just want to cry. And I, like, need, like, more than one song. So I
Really?
put on that, like, I need to be in my feelings because it helps you get it all out. It's like a release. And then when you get all that out, you actually feel better. Like,
I will try that. I'm probably gonna play that song, "Lonely, So Very Lonely."
And I'll try to crawl under the bed, which I don't really fit, but I'll try crawling under the bed.
You'll probably get your head stuck, and then you'll be really crying. It's like, oh.
yeah, like I made a skate groovy playlist. I've been skating, but so I was thinking, I meant to tell you guys this. I had a goal of 30 miles a week. That was way too high.
Why?
I was a little too much of a go-getter. So I've been averaging about like 3 to 5 miles. The most I did was 8, but
good job. It's still good.
Yeah, I think 15 miles a week to start, but yeah, I was getting a little too ambitious. I get really excited in the beginning at things and I go like big and then I'm like, yeah. Not yet.
So you're roller skating, right?
Yes.
Do you wear like the big tube socks with the colors at all?
I will, but I wear knee pads, my, the, what do you call it?
Elbow pads.
Wrist guards.
So I'm padded up. Yep.
Do people honk at you? Hey.
No, they don't.
Do you do like the spinning dancing stuff while you're skating?
Oh, I'm dancing. When I'm skating, I'm out there dancing, but I'm not. I can't spin or like skate backwards yet. I'm learning, but I'm just out there to get my heart rate moving, get my lymphatic system moving, feel good. It feels good to go out there with a good playlist, dance. I throw up the peace sign to people and I can tell they laugh. They think it's funny. They're like, look at this girl, like this retro girl skating.
You never know, man. You never know. You have an old soul, Jackie, old soul.
I do. I'm just trying. If I can just make one person laugh or brighten up their day, I feel good. I want to start like carrying a sign around that says like, be
just
happy,
one.
Smile, and like lift the sign up.
Take a billboard with you. You should do it in like a stick, like one of those like sticks.
Yeah.
No,
and you just kind of like one side or the other.
Do a spinning one where you got to spin it.
Oh, like the people use like
sign
flip guys.
Oh heck!
Yep.
No, you can't do that while you're skating.
Yeah, I will.
That'd be awesome.
No, that reminds me, man. I remember I used to honk at people. Tommy, you remember this? I used to honk at people but wave the other direction. Nee. Hey, they're over there on that side.
We both, because then he was like, "Hey, are they looking? Are they looking?"
And he's like, "Yeah." And sometimes I wouldn't even tell him. I'd be like, "Nee, wave," and Tom's like, "Who are you waving at?"
They're probably looking at Tom.
Like, yeah,
exactly. That's what it was. He was a jerk because every time you do it like nonchalant, like nothing happened. Me, and then I'm looking at the people like, "Hey, what's up?" Freaking jerk.
Oh, that's funny, bro. I did that to a lot of people too. It was honk, nee, hey, and then you leave them hanging. Oh man. Anyways, I think it's time for us to go, man. It's time for us to go.
You're a jerk. Now you remind me how much of a jerk you really are.
How does that dance go?
You're a jerk. You're a jerk. I don't know. I'm too old for that stuff now. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys again for listening to Casually Kicking It. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms. Make sure you give us a review on wherever you're watching or listening to us. We appreciate it. It's time for us to go. We'll be back next week. Same Casually Kicking It channel, same Casually Kicking It time, I guess.
Yep.
Same Casually Kicking place, right?
Sure. All right, guys. Peace.
Close it.